All right, good evening, everyone, and thanks for taking your time to join today's session. So, as the title suggests, is a career tech day where we are going to be exploring different career paths for those that wants to transition. So, we'll be looking at different options open to you so that you can be able to make an informed decision. But before we get started, I'd like to introduce myself and tell you a bit about the company as well. So my name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. Learn with Pride is an IT training organization based in the UK, but we have students all around the world. Our sole purpose is to help people that wants to transition either from non-IT background or non-technical background into the IT space. Right. So we run different IT trainings ranging from project management to data analysis, database engineer, Scrum Master, software testing, digital marketing, and so on and so forth. All right. Why are we different? We are different because we focus on what matters. We focus on what you really need to know for you to get started, for you to kickstart your career. So we don't really dwell too much on theories. We believe so much in hands-on job training, getting your hands dirty for you to be well equipped so that by the time you are applying for a job, you can be able to compete effectively with those who have been doing it in the industry for the last 2, 3 years. That's the way we equip you. All right. I don't want to talk too much. Let me just go through a few of my slides before I call on the first speaker for tonight. So about our Career Tech Day is designed to assist those struggling to choose a career path in IT. This session offers a comprehensive overview of various tech training options, helping you to find the right fit for your skills and interests, gain valuable insight from industry experts, and make informed decisions about your future. All right. So the way the session is going to run is, we bring the expert on one after the other. If you have any questions, you can drop it on the chat. But I'm going to be dealing or attending to all questions after the session. After everyone has spoken, I'll be attending to all questions. So if you have any questions, just jot it down, send it on the chat, or you can as well raise your hand if a particular speaker or expert has spoken and you want to ask him or her a question, before we go to the next one, you can raise your hand and I'll call you quickly to ask your question. If your question is not urgent, then you can drop your questions on the chat and I'll be attending to it as we go along. All right, so that'll be the order of the day. Um, about Learn with Pride. So as I said, I've introduced myself to you, Akin Oladeji, who is the founder of Learn with Pride. We've been in existence for over 4 years now, and over that 4 years, over 20,000 students has passed through this academy over that years as well. If you want to read more about us, just type Learn with Pride on Google, and I'm sure it will take you to everywhere that we exist, both on Trustpilot, our website, our social media, and you can read more about, Learn with Pride as a company. All right, so the courses that we're going to be exploring tonight is a master class, which is a combination of project management, business analysis, and Scrum Master. Also, digital marketing, software testing, data analysis, product management, database administrator, and Excel as well. So, I'm going to be pausing for now. Hold on one second. Should I pause? All right, before I pause, let me just go through this quickly as well. So benefit of enrolling on any of our courses. You get the practical training, you get to work on a real life project, you get the mentorship, you get to join our community support group, you get interview preparation. Also, we have 2 international accredited certificates, one from the UK and the other one is from the US. And both certificates are recognized in over 90 countries, right? Also, we give you a work reference, because you'll be working on our project so that when you start applying for a job, you can showcase that you've got experience and, just to aid your application. 1 second, please. Just to aid your application, yes, so we'll be giving that as well. And also, we post regularly job updates on our community group as well for those that want to start applying for remote job as well. So quickly, before I call on my first speaker, the training roadmap, I'm going to talk more about this as we go on. So you get the practical training, you get to work on projects, you have to optimize your brand, which I'll talk about in a bit. After that, you start applying for a job. And also, finally, interview preparation, because our goal is for you to be able to get a role at the end of the day. So we do everything in our power to support you on that process. And that includes interview preparation. So we prepare you so that when you go in for that interview, you can be confident. And when you're confident, you can be rest assured that the job will be yours at the end of the day. All right, so I'm going to be calling on my first speaker. So if you are interested if you're on the call and you've been hearing about software testing, how to go about becoming a software tester, what are the things, that it entails, what are the things that you need to do for you to become a software tester, this will be your opportunity to learn more about what the journey entails, the benefits, and why this is the right time for you to actually leverage, jump on the training, equip yourself so that you can start competing for job all around the world. So without further ado, I'm going to be calling on Emmanuel to give his presentation. Please, let's stick to between 15 and 20 minutes. So Emmanuel, over to you. Thanks. I'll be right back. You can share your screen.
Please confirm you all can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I will be sharing my screen shortly. Do well to confirm once you're able to see my screen. I'm sharing my screen now.
We can see your what? Yeah. All right, we can see your screen.
Yes, perfect. So quickly we'll be looking at going through the slides, then have some conversations around what it entails for quality assurance software testing, the concepts, the methodologies, and the process flow. Okay. So first of all, I would give a brief introduction about myself. My name is Manuel, and I'm a QA engineer. I have a hands-on experience on quality assurance and software testing. Currently, I've worked in with big brands, and at least to an extent, I can confidently tell you the do's and the don'ts around quality assurance testing. Okay, so that's just a brief one, just an overview about me. Yeah, so the deal on the ground. Okay, first of all, let's look at QA. What's QA and what's actually QA in the tech industry? Okay, because most times people do ask, where do I fit in? What's the job opportunities around this particular course or tech line? Okay, QA is as important as any other aspect of technology. Okay, why? Because whatever be the product that's been made, whatever be the tech product, be it a fintech, be it AI, be it anything that cuts across, even tangible and non-tangible, tech, be it something that you can hold, a robot or something, it all passes through this QA stream. So what's QA all about? As the name sounds, QA testing, just to confirm quality to any product that is being shipped out to our consumers, be it a fintech application, just to make sure that everything is as expected, to make sure that there are no lapses or there are no risk that we run into when we go live to customers. Remember, your customer is as wide as the whole world. So there are good customers, there are everybody and anyone who wants to have access to the system. So if that system has not been properly tested, it's either your consumers are having bad user experience or they are exploiting your system to do whatever be their dubious longings. Okay, so we are as important as software developers, important as any other person on the technical team. Okay, so the testing role, we'll be looking at what exactly are we looking at as a QA engineer. What are the things that motivate us? The first thing is the user experience. So you test an application to confirm that the user experience you are giving out, the products that you are giving out, it's as user-friendly as it should be. Okay, a product shouldn't be something that is complex to users or consumers. Okay, we also look at minimizing risk, which I've talked about. People using applications to exploit or to do anything. You need to make sure that from end to end, there is no data loss, there is no exploitation of, as much as it goes to hacking the system. Okay, all these things are properly done, checked during the QA session. When you are testing an application, these are the things that you look out for. Then to improve efficiency and also to ensure compliance. These are more like to make sure that the application that we are shipping out is just the best form of it. Okay, so that when your customers are actually using your system, they are not struggling, they are not being attacked, they are not regretting. If it is something that is premium they paid for, they're actually getting value for what they paid for. Okay, and okay, so we move further to the next slide. Then the table of contents. What we'll be looking at through the all through the course, through the introductory. This is where we get to familiarize with the keywords. What is QA, like from the technical standpoint? What does it entails? What are the terminologies? What are the tools? What are the expectations? What are the things that are required? What are the things that are needed? Okay, then we'll move over to the functional testing, which will cut across the APIs, the web portal, website, web application, then the mobile application. Okay, I believe some of these words might be new to some of us, and some of us also it might be something that we're used to. But when we start off, these are the things that you get to understand and get to know. Okay, when we talk about an application, how does an application communicate and relate with each other? Okay, through which stream does it communicate? The APIs, web portal, mobile application, all these things will be factored in during the functional testing. Like the name states, functional testing is all about making sure the functionalities of an application is working as expected. So you expect that when you open up Facebook, and you should be able to see posts. If you've not logged in, you should be able to try to log in. And all these things come into functionalities. What are the functionalities of this application? Yeah, these are the things that you be testing. And trust me, yes, there is no, testing is not linear. That means you can test this, you can test that. Yeah, there are requirements, there are documents that you test, that gives you an overview of your product, but you are not limited to just that document. Let your brain, let your mind and everything be as open as it should be so that you can be able to cover as much ground as you can. Then the test approach, we'll also be looking at the automation side and also the manual side. The automation has to do with when you test the system. This time around, you're not, let's say for an application, you're not the one logging in, checking if login is working, if set password is working. You can actually write scripts and actually write some codes that will be running these things. So all you just need to do is to trigger it. Once you trigger it, it starts to run. It does all these things on its own. All you just need to do is to supervise and then look at your logs. So that's for your automation. While the manual part is what every one of us, I believe, if you've used any application, if you use the internet, if you use any application at all, in a way or two, you manual test the system. So manual testing is just normal user application. Then the non-functional part is where you have to look at the performance, stress test, load test. These things are related in the sense that performance, you want to know how the system responds per time. Load, you want to know how much users per time, the traffic this particular application carry per time. And the stress test is more like, at what point does this system break? Okay, so if I load them up, at what point does it break? So all these things will be factored in on as we progress and test, learn. Okay, then introduction, I've already spoken about this. The objective here to identify defects. So as you are testing, um, in fact, for you to actually be valued as a strong QA engineer, you need to be able to pick up defects, no matter how little they are. So all these things will get to know how to raise defects, how to design your test scripts, how to get your defect logs, escalate to the proper stakeholders, follow through to make sure that it's fixed, test, review your regression. All these things factored in the course. Then the second objective is to ensure quality. Remember, quality assurance, you're ensuring quality, you're ensuring your end consumers that the product that we are shipping out, be rest assured, it's a quality product. So all that responsibility lies on you. And this is what you'll be doing as a QA engineer. I've already spoken about manual testing, automation testing, the UI testing, and the API testing. The UI is more like what we all know, while the API testing has to do with what's running behind the scene, how the system is powered, the data part of it, the logical computation part of it, all those things. So we test all systems. We test from UI, which is user facing, where your users or your consumers are using. We also test the underlying systems where application sits. Okay, make sure that there are no loose ends. Nobody can hack the system. You cannot feed them wrong information and process it right information. All these things you have to here and there to make sure you can test it. And this course will cover in depth. I'm just giving a summary report. Which will actually drill down to the zeros and points so that we get to know how to effectively test the system. And also be confident while testing. One thing test the second thing is to actually be confident to say yes, I've been able to test the system and give them ready to go live. Some people will tell you I've tested it, but I'm not that strong, not that confident that no. By the time you've done your thorough job, you can beat your chest. Yes, done thorough job. And all these things covered in this course. Okay. Then we looked at the performance load test, which I talked about. The vulnerability, more like the security test, to make sure that nothing is broken, nothing is missing, there are no exposures. Okay. Then yeah, that's basically what we'll be looking at throughout the course. And like I said, it's a large market there. On the average, you can see how much QAs and goes up as much as 40,000 units, 60,000 units, 80,000 units, all depending on your expertise, experience, and the tools you can use. But what I'm trying to say is that as much as software developers, software developers are much time, as much as they are valued, QA engineers are valued at the same level, same strength. Okay, so that's all for me now. I don't know if there's anyone that has a question.
All right. Yeah, thanks for that, Emmanuel. Although I think the network was kind of shaky. If you have any question as regards software testing, you can raise your hand and I will take the question quickly. But one thing about our software testing that you should know or bear in mind for those that are considering to become a software tester is you'll be getting like 3 different trainings on software testing for the price of one. What do I mean? You'll be trained on manual testing, you'll be trained on automation testing, you'll be trained on API testing. These are all independent, testing. And the essence of that is when you start applying for a job out there, you are not restricting yourself to just one. right? So if manual tester is not coming your way, you can apply for API tester, or you can apply for automation tester. So these are all the things you'll be exposed to, right? So it's a great opportunity. And also for those online now, you might want to wait till the very end of the session, as we have a special discount for those online that want to take action, and we are ready to work with you. So you might want to stick around to the very end for you to get the special discount. Right. So any question for Emmanuel before I go to the next on the agenda, because we are trying to rush, because we have so many that we need to achieve before we say good night, today. So as anyone, if you are online and if you have any question, please, you can drop your question on the chat, or you can raise your hand and I will call you to ask your question. All right, no question, so that we don't waste time. All right, thanks, Emmanuel. You can on share so that I can share my screen back. Thanks. All right, so before I go to the next on the list, I'd like to call on one of our ex-students. 1 second. One second, let me see what I put. All right. So I would like to call on one of our ex-students who has passed through the journey and who is currently working as well. Just to quickly share his journey, his experience, so that we can learn from that. It's just to motivate someone on the call that believes, what, is it too late for me to embark on this journey? Can someone like me, actually, can someone like me still transition or make it happen? It's just to clarify or to clear such doubts that, what, age doesn't matter. What you studied in school doesn't matter. What you've been doing for the last 10 years doesn't matter. What you need on the journey is your determination. As long as you can have that determination, nothing is impossible for you to achieve. So quickly, in 2 minutes, Mr. Taufik, you have the floor. Thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Mr. Akin.
Good evening, sir.
Thanks for having me here. So, my name is Taufik, one of the alumni of LWPA. I actually enrolled for data analyst program, and to be honest with you, I'll say the program was quite a very, very good one, because I never expected to gain so much regarding the program, and with the help of a good mentorship, I was able to scale through, as well as hard work, honestly, because that is the most important thing: the consistency, the self-determination, and the hunger. The hunger has to be there, honestly. So with all this, I was able to scale through in terms of getting a job. It wasn't easy, but with consistency, I was able to pull through, and I was able to secure a very good role. So, and I would say, for people that want to enroll right now, I would say you guys are actually like more luckier compared to like one of the alumni, because now you have access to more courses compared to when I took my course. And I think the duration is even longer than when we did ours. So I would say it's never too late to jump on it. And the support it was very massive as at my own period as well. So regardless of your age, regardless of where you're coming from. And one thing I will let you know, like, you can never learn everything from the program. So you can just, once you're determined and you're ready to push yourself, I believe the Learn with Pride, the platform is always there to support you, because the mentorship, the mentoring, everything is there, and the resources as well is there. So yeah, I think I'll say thank you to Mr. Akin as well, because he was there all through the journey, and it was like consistent. It was consistent with feedback and everything, with the support as well. So yeah, thank you very much, and thank you guys.
Yes, thanks, Taufik. I really appreciate that. I don't know if anyone on the call, if you have any question also for Taufik, please, you can raise your hand or you can drop it on the chat. Let me just use one stone to kill two birds at the same time while you're still thinking about if you have any question for any of the speakers so far. So I'm going to call on someone quickly as well in 1 to 2 minutes. One of the one of the current students, of Learn with Pride, just to share, their journey, their experience as well so far on the training, on the project as well. So quickly, in 1 to 2 minutes, Oluwole Shitu, you have the floor.
Good evening. Thank you, Akin, for this privilege. Yeah, my name is Oluwole Shitu. I joined Learn with Pride this year, January. So I'm working as a carer in UK, so combining caring job and time for lecture together, though it wasn't easy, but it's worth it. So one of the things that I like about this Learn with Pride people, let me use that word, is that you have full access to the facilitator and mentorship. Like I remember doing the classes, because presently now we're on live project. Almost every day, I will chat or call my facilitator, which is Michelle. And she doesn't complain that maybe she's busy or so. She has time to listen to me, then solve any problem that I'm facing on any subject he takes us. So, and apart from that, though the course is somehow not too hard, but importantly, self-learning is very important in anything you were taught. They can't teach you everything at once, but anything you learn personally from yourself is what will help you to brush up your knowledge. So thank you, Aki.
Thanks, Oluwole Shitu, for that. I really appreciate, you know, um, attending this session as well. Thanks for that. I don't know whether anybody has any question for the speakers so far, those who have spoken so far. You can drop your question on the chat as well. We are here to learn together. So if you have any question, if you don't want to talk to me, if you are too shy to talk to me, you can drop your question on the chat and we'll pick it up as well. All right, so the next on the agenda, so that we don't waste too much time, are those considering to become a product manager, right? If you're out there and you're thinking about, I love the sound of it, although I don't know much about it, but I would like to know, I'd like to know more about this career path. What are my options? What are my chances? This is your chance now to sit back, get your coffee, get your popcorn, and listen to the experts in the industry. So this is another combo. How do I mean combo? For anyone that embark on this journey, you'll be getting 3 trainings for the price of 1 as well. The reason why we make our courses combo is because you have enough skills you can leverage on. So if product management role, or you've been applying for product management role and it's not coming your way, you have other skills you can leverage on to start applying for other roles, like UI, UX or Scrum. So this particular one, for those that will be considering it, you'll be trained on product management, you'll be trained on UI, UX, you'll be trained on Scrum. So you'll be getting those 3 trainings and you're not paying anything extra for it. So it's just like you enroll on product manager, that we are giving you 2 extra trainings for free. So without further ado, I'll call on Michelle to take the floor to tell you more about what it entails to become a product manager. Over to you, Michelle.
Good evening, everybody. Can everyone hear me?
We can hear you. We can see your screen as well.
Perfect. Okay, so good evening to everyone. Thank you very much, Aki, for this opportunity. As he said, my name is Michelle. I am the facilitator for the product management cohort. A bit about myself. Sorry, I moved too quickly. Okay, so a bit about myself. I am a practicing product and project manager. I have over 4 years of experience. I have worked within different industries from e-commerce to education to IT to SEAS. And now I am actually in the fintech industry. I have a background in digital marketing. I also have a bit of experience when it comes to cybersecurity, specifically governance, compliance, and risk management. I have been integral to the successful launch of over 5 new products within the industry, and I also have maintained a large list of currently existing products within the tech space. I have a degree in banking and finance from University of Benin, and I did transition from banking and finance into product management when I started off my career in client relationship management. So I was lucky enough to enter the tech space as a customer care person, then transitioned into relationship management, then transitioned into tech as time went on. Currently, I am the growth product manager for Care Money. It's a fintech and is also a business management tool. And I also work freelance for other projects within different industries. Now, a bit about product management. For product management, as the name implies, this is the business process of planning. This is the business process of developing, launching, and managing a product or service. Whenever I say there is a problem in the business field, what tends to happen is you create solutions around the problem. If you say own a company that deals in, say, banking services, for example, as time goes on, the human demand for the banking services expand. It is the product manager that identifies the new demands. So what are these new things that people want to be able to use their banking tools for? Is this only sending and receiving money? What other things would they like? Would they like to be able to pay their bills? Would they like to be able to track their previous records? Would they like to be able to manage their expenses? As the demands from users come in, it is the product management that reviews all this feedback and then does something else, which is really cool. The next thing we do is we help you, or we come out more like with a solution to these problems that are raised. And then our solution is what is then presented into the market, of course, after developing, after launching, and after, of course, planning the new product. So a product manager is basically somebody who recognizes a need and develops a product or solution to address that need. Remember that there has to be consistency with the organization's main objectives. So if the organization has a business objective to, say, expand the banking experience within Nigeria, whatever solution that you as a product manager come up with for every problem that you decide to tackle or step on or work with or work through has to tie with the organization's main objective, which is what? Expanding the banking experience. So it is the product manager that looks at the problem, creates a solution, ensures that the solution is tied to the organization's larger objectives, and then they would mobilize the necessary resources to take a concept, because when you create a solution, it's still a concept. You've not put work through it. The process of planning, developing, and launching is where you're putting work through it. So we take all the resources provided to us and create a solution of a concept that customers are then able to use as at the point where we take it to market. So you can say product management has 3 sections. It's the strategization. We do a lot of strategization. It's not every problem that is presented to you by a customer that you hop on and you develop for. So it's our duty to not just create solutions. It's our duty to prioritize solutions. It's our duty to decipher what sections can we work on and what sections can't we work on, depending on the kind of resources that are available to us. It also falls on the product manager to develop the products. Now, you won't code it. You won't, of course, say maybe even design it per se, but the resources that are presented to you, like developers, coders, UX researchers, and all these different roles, You will then, as a product manager, put everything together so you can go ahead and develop your concepts into a real life solution that can then be marketed. So our role extends into marketing in the sense that we also ensure that what we have created hits the market properly and does well within the markets as defined by the kind of matrix for success that we set for our products. So in this course, just a bit of a breakdown, I have broken down what the different aspects of what we do within the course will be. The first part is the concepts of product management. So within this course, in this section, we would look at all the key concepts of product management. You will learn the essential terminologies, you will gain solid understanding of what it takes to be a good and effective product manager. And we would also cover the entire product life cycle. So the course is built around a real life product that would run through the full life cycle of a product. And I will show you using that product so it's more relatable and it's not just concepts being thrown at you. How we go from the idea phase to something that is then sent to the market. So we'll look at that. We would also look at UI UX and the relationship that it has with product management. So in this section, we'll delve into the product aspects of the UI UX experience. Now, UI UX is user interface and user experience. Now, these two fields tend to be closely intertwined because the process of taking a concept into something that is used has to do and rest solely on what is done within the design phase. So we have a very close relationship with design, and we would explore this relationship in detail. We would also learn the key design insights that would help you transition smoothly into this field of product management. And if you actually want to go ahead to specialize within design, you would have the necessary basics that can better help you transition into that field. I would also give us access to certain materials that you can use to train your design skill while we go through the course. And you can go ahead and share those designs with me, and I can give you feedback on them from the POV of a product manager. We would also go through the Scrum experience, which is basically to efficiently learn product management. You need to know and understand the concepts of Scrum and sprint planning, simply because not all companies tend to have budgets to go ahead to spread into hiring a Scrum Master. So with that in mind, when it comes to planning, say Scrum or Sprint, that duty will fall within the purview of the product manager. So as a product manager, knowing that we tend to take on multiple roles, it's very essential that you know how to do Scrum and Sprint plan, you know how to handle a product from its different phases in its life cycle, and you know how to basically deal within multiple roles and handle multiple responsibilities. So we will take a core part of our training to familiarize ourselves with the practices of Scrum and Sprint planning. The last thing we would also touch on, because I did talk about launching a product, so I would take you through how we market a new product. So how our role extends beyond just finding solutions and putting the customer needs up. Tackling the customer needs. We also need to take the solution to market. We also need to assess user and engagement. And also from the taking it to market, you're able to then get feedback from the customers on if what you have created is a success or not, and whatever improvements will be needed into it. So it is from that process that you're able to do this. And I will walk us through how we go from marketing the products down through the iteration process. And in this section, we would also work through all the core marketing concepts that guide a product. There is the activities that we do before a product goes to market and the activities we do after a product goes to market. So we would cover all of that. You can see in this diagram here that product management is right in the center here of UX, tech, and business. So we're smack in the middle, and at the end of the course, you should be able to fully experience the UX, that's user experience, the tech aspect, and then the business aspects to efficiently handle product management. The next thing is, so what's the career path? I have told us so much information as to what the course breakdown will be, but what's the career path within product management? Normally, to break into product management, you come in as an associate or assistant product manager, and you earn about $40,000 to $88,000 within this entry level role. Now, this is for a year, but this is an entry level role. So when you are at 0 to 2 years of experience, after a while, you would become a product manager. And as a product manager, that's 3 to 5 years of experience. Your pay increases to, on average, within the USA, $66,000 to $153,000 on average every year. And then after that, you transition into 4 to 6 years, which you'll be termed a senior product manager. And as a senior product manager, your pay on average within the US market is $100,000 to $180,000. And after a while, if you've worked for say 5 to 7 years within the product management field, you are now looked at as a group product manager. So you're able to handle a team of product managers with this level of experience, and your earn is usually between $127,000 to $245,000 on an average in the USA. And then if you have worked for over 7+ years, you can take on the role of a director within product management. And on average, you earn about $115,000 to $220,000. And then if you've worked within this field for say 10 years, you can transition into vice president of product management. And on average within the US market, you earn about $95,000 to $211,000. And the highest echelon of experience within this role is chief product officer. So this is when you have worked for over 12 years and you can earn between $102,000 to $300,000 on average every year within the US market. Another cool thing about this role is because of all what we do, you can actually specialize. So even though this is a normal path when it comes to say going through product management, which is from associate to chief product manager, you can actually be an associate product designer. You can be an associate Scrum Master. It's the way the career path works is whatever you learn within this field, as far as you take out time to focus and specialize within this section and do the years, these pay opportunities are still available to you. So, and some even expose you to higher pay depending on the industry you join. And when I mean industry, I mean whether it's construction tech, supply chain tech, health tech. So depending on the kind of industry within you find yourself, and of course the funding of said organization that you find yourself in would then determine, but these are just the average rates collected and calculated from different product managers within that field. So as I said, we also have the cool part of specializing. You can specialize and be a designer, so a product designer. From all what we learned, you can specialize and become a Scrum Master, a product owner, a UX researcher, a UI UX designer, a product specialist, a technical writer. You can even go on to become a product marketing manager, a growth product manager, which is what I am currently, and a product analytics manager or SEO manager. Now, what's the course breakdown? I have shown us that we've done it into 4 sections, which is marketing, UI, UX, Scrum, and then concepts of product management. We have 12 sessions within a month, and the classes last 2 hours. 1 hour, 30 minutes of training, 30 minutes for assignments and general feedback or discussion with regards to the class. And then it runs for 3 months. We also will take advantage of tools like Figma, Jira, Trello, Google Excel, Google Presentation, the Plots.io, and Google Docs. So these are the different tools that we would use when it comes to this course, okay? And that covers everything. I do not know if there are questions for me at this time.
All right, thanks, Michelle, for that. If you have any question, please drop it on the chat. But while you're trying to think about the question you want to ask, I want to bring on someone quickly just to share their experience on the journey as well. One of the current students of Learn with Pride as well. So without further ado, Olukemi, you can have the floor. Thanks. In 1 to 2 minutes, Olukemi. All right, maybe she dropped off. Friday, are you online? Friday, if you're online, you can have the floor, Friday.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah. Name is Friday. Current student of Learn with Pride. I joined January this year, and undertaking a data analysis course. Actually, has been a wonderful experience, like from the start, and just like everybody who has spoken before, what they've said about the process is seamless and it's something you enjoy. But I've noticed that you must have personal commitments and plans. It's not just coming to learn, you must be prepared to do it. It does not mean or matter the experience you've had before. You don't have to know anything about tech, actually, as everybody has said. But for you to be able to do it, Learn with Pride will do their part. 50%, the other 50% is on you. You have to go that extra mile to want to learn. That's the only time you can do better. From my own experience, that's what I've seen. And good thing is the platform is there. It's a continuous thing for you. Even if your time with Learn with Pride as active student is past, you still have access to the past videos. You can stay call on them. The platform is there for you to keep learning. Career paths, development and growth is there for you. So that's what I've come to see. And I think I want to personally thank Mr. Akin, because I've come to understand it's not just about the money for him, but it's just a platform to truly want to help people. So I can encourage anybody out there to please key into it if you want to. Don't delay, don't think about it too much. Make out the time and effort to do it. You will never regret it. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Friday, for that. Really appreciate. Let me check the chat. I don't know whether there's any question on the chat. All right, I think Kemi is back too now. All right, Kemi, you can have the floor quickly as well, so that I don't keep.
All right, thank you so much. Sorry, I was muted the other time. Okay, so as a Learn with Pride student, or should I say alumni now, because we just finished database administration last week, even though I'm not done with all my projects. What I would say is that with Learn with Pride, you get a lot of support, a lot of online and offline support. With database administration, I decided that I wanted to enrich my data analysis background. So I decided to go for database administration. And honestly, it's been one of the best decisions that I made this year. And why I said so is because I have always been afraid of Python. And for anyone that has done data analysis, you know that a lot of people say that with data analysis, you don't necessarily need Python, because not all organizations will do the analysis with Python, which is correct, right? So I ran away from Python for so long, but when I joined the database administration class, I was forced to take my Python training again. This time around, honestly, the tutor broke everything down. And for the first time in my life, Python didn't seem like rocket science to me. He broke it down, and now I can say that I have my confidence with Python, and on my project, I'm sure I'll be able to handle my project all by myself. And the tutor was so good. He gave us a lot of resources. And just as the other speakers have said, a lot rests on your personal commitments. Learn with Pride can only do so much. You need to pick up from wherever they leave it and solidify your own training by yourself. So I would say I've gained a lot. And my confidence has really been boosted, because of this. And I know that the sky is just the starting point for me. One thing I would also say about Learning with Pride is the support. The support is always there. For instance, during my class, during training, there was no question that was too stupid to be answered. And the amount of resources that I have now, like every topic that was taught, MongoDB, MySQL, and the rest, we have all sorts of resources that can help, with any question that you may have, no matter how difficult it is. So you get the resources. It's just for you to plug in and use those resources when they are needed. So I would say, yes, I would like to encourage anyone, interested to take any of these courses to go ahead and take them. And one other benefit you gain with Learn with Pride is that over time, if you're an alumni or an alumnus, you get a lot of discounts with so many things. So yeah, it pays to join Learn with Pride. You get a lot of hand-holding and a lot of resources, both online and offline. Thank you.
Thank you, Kemi. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Quickly, Michelle, you are still online. There's a question for you on the chat. The difference between UI and UX, I think.
Okay, so the difference between UI and UX is not, this is why it's user interface and user experience, because for user experience, you are first and foremostly trying to comprehend how a user will come in contact and utilize your tool. And the user interface is now the design that they would see upon coming in to use your tool. So they don't necessarily work against each other. They work hand in hand. When you are designing, when you're creating designs, you're creating it from the point of view and the mental understanding of this is what a user who it might not be 100% tech savvy would experience. So how do you design with the user's experience thought of you while ensuring that the interface is clean and user-friendly? I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for that, Michelle. I really appreciate it. If you are not clear, you can raise your hand and I will be calling you later to ask that question again if we haven't answered it. All right, not to waste too much of our time, quickly in 15 to 20 minutes as well. These are for the people that are considering database administrator. So if you've been wondering, oh, database administrator, how do I go about it? We've got you. We have a 4-month robust training that will take you through what you need to know for you to be able to land yourself a job at the end of the journey as well. So without further ado, again, Michael, over to you. Please, 15 to 20 minutes. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Please, if you
Yeah,
can
good
hear
evening.
me. All right, can you hear me?
Yes,
all right.
Loud and clear, yes.
Okay. So this is an introductory webinar for future database administrators / engineers. Okay. This all right, let's just go. About the facilitator. All right, my name is Adeniro Michael. I'm a certified engineer and something former engineer because I'm now a data professional. So I work as a database administrator and engineer. I work as a data engineer and I work as a data analyst. I actually began from data analysis before I transitioned into other data fields. But the beauty about this data field is whatever skill you learn, you can always use it to transition to other aspects of the data field. SQL is SQL, no matter where you decide to use it. All right. So what is database administration? What is database administration? Let me go ahead. Database administration is a specialized field of computer science and engineering that focuses on design, developing, and managing databases. Okay, so what database administration entails is simply design, developing, and managing database. Okay, a simple definition of a database is where data is kept. Okay, what is data? Data simply means information. Okay, data simply means information. Your height is an information, your name is an information, where you stay is an information, that's your address. A lot of this information are being collected and put in a database. When you, for instance, if you have accounts with a bank or even Facebook or X or Instagram, your data was collected and kept in a database. So database is simply where your database is kept. All right. So this database where data is kept or data is stored as an administrator, somebody who manages, who designs it, who develops it, who plans it, and who manages it. Okay. Your data cannot just be stored for nothing. Your data must always be managed properly. Okay. So database admins work with various database management systems, or what we call DBMS, like MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, and SQL Server, etc. So, and they are responsible for database design, like I said, database modeling, schema development, query optimization, indexing, data security, performance tuning, data migration, backup and recovery, and scalability. I know once in a while you must have used some websites that they request for, they might ask that they want to run a maintenance activity or a backup at night. So those backups that some websites and some e-commerce or even the bank run from time to time, it is the backup that they do. So most time, the person in charge of this kind of operation is who they call a database administrator. And a database administrator is part of people that are called the data producers. In the data field, there are data producers and there are data consumers. Your data consumers are those who make use of the data to make informed decisions, like the database administrator, like the database, like the data analysts, data scientists, and machine learning engineers. Those are data consumers. Data producers are people who work at the back end to make sure that they collect data from consumers and store them properly. So what roles can a database admin or engineer apply for? These are the roles you'll be eligible for after this program, because we'll cover in depth and we'll go deep in such a way that you can transition and use the skill for any other thing you want to use it for. So you can apply for a job of a database engineer. You can apply for a job as a database administrator. You can apply for a data engineering role if that pleases you. You can apply for database architects, because we will be designing and developing databases. You can apply for the role of database developer. You can apply for the role of a database analyst. Okay. So Eric Schmidt, the executive chairman of Google, said there were 5 exabytes of information created between the dawn of civilization through 2003. But that much information is now created every 2 days. Okay, 5 exabytes of data is created every 2 days. It simply means that everyone in the data field, people will need more and more data engineers, database administrators, and data professionals a few years from now. Many more and more of them is being required and sought after. So information is the oil of the 21st century, and analytics is the combustion engine. Okay, so to aid analytics, the database administrator must be the one to keep the database, make sure that where the data is kept or wherever it is sourced from, it is properly kept in a good format. And he monitors the database if it's still running or if it's not running. Then, so you can become a database admin or engineer in 4 months. Okay, that's what this training covers. Okay, 4 months. So about this training we introduce you to the world of database administration. You will learn how to go through the entire database administration process, from database design, database modeling, schema development, query optimization, indexing, data security. You will know how to secure data, performance tuning, backup and recovery. You will know how to do that. If you look at the right-hand side of my screen, it clearly shows you what we mean by schema design. This is what really goes on at the back end of any database or even a website or anything that collects data. This is where it is stored. Then the trailing curriculum, we cover MySQL Workbench. Okay, this is where we'll learn how to use SQL. We are going to learn advanced MySQL. You will learn how to do database design and modeling. Then we'll learn how to use Python for database administration. Okay, then we'll learn NoSQL. Okay, NoSQL simply means not only SQL. SQL means structured querying language. Okay, structured query language is the language you use in communicating with a database. That's the language you use in communicating with a relational database. There are relational databases and non-relational databases. So non-relational databases makes use of NoSQL. And one of the most popular tool for NoSQL is MongoDB. So we are going to be learning how to use MongoDB. Then we'll learn how to use PHPMyAdmin. But I think, okay, nevertheless, PHPMyAdmin, we are going to learn how to use it. It's going to be part of the bonus tools we are going to be learning for the course. All right. In MySQL, okay, using MySQL Workbench, we'll learn SQL. We'll understand the basics of SQL, the CRUD operations. That's create, read, update, and delete. We are going to focus on MySQL dialects of SQL. SQL has many dialects, but you are going to learn the general SQL. You are going to understand the importance of databases and the role of SQL. You are going to learn how to write queries and advanced queries. You are going to learn about functions, triggers, procedures, indexing. You are going to learn how to automate a lot of things, okay? You are going to learn how to automate them using Python, or if you decide to make use of MySQL, you can always write codes in SQL that you can use to automate different processes instead of writing the codes over and over again. So you will learn how to design a database using forward and reverse engineering. You learn how to understand database administration. Then we'll learn about MongoDB. We'll understand NoSQL and the difference between relational databases and non-relational. You will learn the difference between the different types of NoSQL databases. We'll understand the basics of MongoDB and how to query data using MQL. That's Mongo querying language. Then another thing we'll go into is we are going to learn how to use Python, okay? We'll learn how to use Python. Python is a very powerful scripting language, all right? And the beauty about Python is we will learn it in such a way that if you decide to use it for software development, you will be correct. If you decide to use it for data engineering, you will be correct. From that point, you can use it for anything. I am sure that, like Kemi rightfully said a few minutes ago, you will understand Python in a very, very simple way, because I try to break it down in a way that every single person can understand. All right. Then, do I need a computer science background to learn database administration? Absolutely no. You do not need it. Most of us did not come from computer science background. I was a maintenance engineer for an electricity firm before I decided to pivot into data analytics, because I needed something that I will be able to do from the comfort of my home without going out, and I will have time for my kids and other people. So that's why I decided to pivot into it. And it wasn't an easy journey, but thus far, I would say your investments into it is going to pay off. Whatever you can't get out of the data, you can't get out of tech more than you are willing to invest in it. So what you invest is what you get. So where to get jobs. You can try LinkedIn. I've gotten more than 4 interviews on LinkedIn this year. Twitter, Indeed.com, Dentry.io, Upwork. You can decide to work as a database designer or whatever on Upwork. You can apply on Fiverr, then just join it. So before I say thank you, let me just show you what we mean by MySQL. So this is what your server looks like, okay? This is what your server looks like. So you'll be able to, this is where you check if the server is still running, what is really happening, if the server is still up, or if it has gone, if it has shut down. So as a database administrator, this is what you do day in, day out. You check it out, you work with it, and you know the health. This is what reveals the health of your database. This is more like a dashboard. So this is a dashboard that shows you the performance reports, everything going on in your database. And you can decide to check the server status. So you can check it out if you like. Then you can check if the server is still running. Can you see showing running? You can check your clients, the users, you can add them. This way you can block people, delete people, and do anything. The beauty about database administration is that you cannot be easily fired because you are the guy at the back end who knows almost all the secrets. Okay, so it is rare for you to hear that the fired database administrator, because you are the guy that's at the back end, you know what is really happening. So you are most likely and will always be needed. So let me just show you the basics of what we mean by a schema. All right, so this is what a schema looks like. So we'll learn how to design these things, okay? This is what we call entity relationship diagram, ERR, okay? So this is what we call an entity relationship diagram, all right? So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. You are going to learn how to design this, okay? And this is very, very powerful. You learn how to design it and look for relationship between different tables, okay? This is what this course affords you. There are some people that this is the only job they do. They are database modelers or database designers. So this is what they do full time, all right? And aside from working with MySQL Workbench, you are going to be learning how to use MongoDB, all right? So this is what MongoDB looks like. It can handle up to 13,000 data. Can you see I have documents or record? I have 13K. So I can actually check out things, write my codes in this place, okay? So this is where we are going to be writing our codes, and we'll do a whole lot with this. Then aside from that, we'll also learn how to use, we'll also learn how to use Python, okay? We'll also learn how to use Python using Visual Studio Code. So from this point, we'll be able to analyze, check how you can block your users, or you must not always log into anything. You can decide to make use of MySQL from this point. So in absence of any other thing, I'll gladly say thank you. And Akin will take up from here. And if there's any question,
yeah, quick question for you before you go.
Yeah.
Does it mean that a data analyst don't manage database?
No, a data analyst does not manage a database. It doesn't. That's not the work of a data analyst. A data analyst job is to analyze data, okay, to get insights from the data. All he just needs is the ready-made data, and he will be able to draw inference from it and tell you this is what the data is saying. A data analyst can look at your data and tell you if your business is doing well or not. Okay, that's just his work, to make use, to consume the data. Okay, but your data base administrator is someone who manages the data. He controls the inflow and the outflow of the data, controls what kind of data is being collected, and checks if the data is stored properly and if it's in the right hand. So a database analyst, for instance, he can decide to come to this point and grant a data analyst is the database administrator is the one that grants the data analyst permission to make use of the kind of data he wants to make use of. So the basic work of a data analyst is that a data analyst has a database and he fetches data from the database and he just draws inference on the database. He's not really concerned about the management of the data or whether the server is running or not. He doesn't care. All he just needs is that the data should be available for him to draw inferences from or make calculations. This is that's the major difference. This is the work of a DBA. You are the one that inspects the whole thing to check if it's still running, and you check the amount of queries that is being run per time, so you can check.
All right, thanks. I saw one question and I can't find it again. I don't know whether you can see it. Okay. Is this the same as data modeling?
Yes.
And also, does it also perform the work of cybersecurity?
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not the work of cyber security. No. This but this entails data modeling. Okay. This is what we call a data model, like I showed earlier. This is what we call a data model. This is a complete model. Okay. And you can model in SQL and model in no SQL. We are going to talk about that, and we are going to do forward and reverse engineering. But this is basically what we mean by a model. Okay. So from here you can learn it, and there's physical design and another logical design. We are going to go through all that, so you can decide to focus on just data modeling.
All right. What is the difference between OCI and ODBA?
OCI and ODBA?
Yes, I don't know what that means.
I would like to know what the person means by that acronym.
Benito, if you can, would I say restructure your question? If you are there, if you can, say the full meaning of the acronyms, and we'll see whether it's something we can answer as well. All right. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and Oracle Database Administrator.
Okay. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and what?
Oracle Database Administrator. What is the difference?
All right. The basic difference is that Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is just simply means that the infrastructure is in the cloud, and you can always work in the cloud. You do not need a physical database to work with. But when you talk about Oracle Database Administration, it means that you are the Oracle Database Administrator, okay? Oracle Cloud Infrastructure simply means that is an infrastructure in the cloud, okay? Just like the way we have AWS, the way we have Google Cloud Platform. That's a cloud platform. But the Oracle Database Administrator is somebody that uses the Oracle SQL, okay? That's what we mean by, there's a Oracle SQL, okay? So you can learn that, okay? That's another course. Not entirely different, but it's a database administrator, but you make use of, instead of using MySQL like I did now, you make use of the Oracle DB. All right, I don't know if that answers. All right.
All right. Thank you for that, Michael. Any other question, please, you can drop it on the chat and we'll answer it at the end of the session so that we don't waste too much of time. So quickly, let me just give an update of the duration of the courses that we've listened to so far, starting from software testing. Software testing is a 5-month program. The first 3 months will concentrate on the practical training, which will expose you to API testing, manual testing, automation testing. When you are done with the 3-month practical training, then we'll put you on a live project for another 2 months, where you'll be working as part of a full Scrum team. In your team, you have the developer, you have the Scrum Master, product owner, business analyst, and you have yourself as a software tester. And the aim is for you to deliver, to work together as a team and deliver a solution for your clients. So that's the structure for software testing, 5-month program which runs Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Every session is recorded. Every student that enrolled will be onboarded on our LMS platform, which is a learning management system platform, where you can have access to the recording at the end of the day. Whether you missed a class, you can just log in and have access to your recording. Then for the product management as well, product management is another 5-month program. You'll notice that all our courses are not just 4 weeks program. It's because we want to get you well equipped before you start applying for a job. We want you to be ready, because at the end of any of our programs, the aim and objectives is for you to be able to compete with those who has been doing it in the industry for the last 2-3 years, and that is why we take our time to take you on a journey. So for product management as well, that's a 5-month program, that will expose you to product management, UI, UX, and Scrum for 3 months. So the practical training will be for 3 months. Also, when you are done with the practical training, you now go ahead and work on a live project for another 2 months as well. So that's for product management. For database is a 4-month program that runs Friday and Saturday. So product management runs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Also, all sessions are recorded as well. And for database is a 4-month program, which runs every Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Right. So that is what we've looked at so far. Thanks, Michael, for that. If there's any question, we'll be attending to that at the end of the session. So now I want to go on to the next on the agenda. So if you're on the call, Chiuba, I'll be calling you shortly. If you're on the call and you are considering to become a digital marketer, because you believe all the tech courses, regardless of your location, there's no restriction when it comes to location any longer. Whether you live in Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, you can apply for a job remotely any part of the world in any of these tech roles. But if you're on the call tonight and you've been wondering how can you get into the tech industry through digital marketing, you are looking for a training company that will hold you by the hand, walk the walk with you, and take you on that journey for you to learn what it requires, to know what you need to know before you start applying for a job, then this is for you, because the next speaker will be telling you about digital marketing, the benefits, the advantages, and why this is the best time for you to actually consider it, because it is booming right now. So without further ado, John, over to you.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, just confirm you can hear me. And
we can hear you, we can see your screen as well.
Yeah, excited to jump on this with all of you. My name is John. I'm a group marketing manager. Having worked like across the industry for about 5 years now. Worked like with Meta as a Meta marketing pro. I'm in charge of Sub-Saharan African region. Then I've also worked like with a couple of startups in Lagos, Nigeria, food court, Edukoya, EduTech, e-commerce, and all of that. So for basically the digital marketing, for this course, I'll be taking care of digital marketing. So just in case, just to to put it out there, digital marketing obviously is like when the tech builds the product, tech builds, product management builds, everybody builds. Your core responsibility is to be able to market the products, right? And then in this course, we're going to be looking at in-depth digital marketing, the practical aspect, and this is going to basically involve SEO, content marketing, paid advertising, analytics, email marketing as well, and social media marketing. I'll be, looking at this most of these concepts in depth, and then we'll also be doing a lot of, activities, of course, practicals. Just like few months ago, I was able to, I had a class where we were able to teach about about 1,000 students, and within the space of 2 months, within the space of 2 months, some of them have been able to get jobs, internship in specific industries, in specific companies in Nigeria here. So this is what I'm going to be looking at. Looking at some of the aspect also, being able to look at crafting your target audience, also working on your unique selling point, marketing strategy, also dealing with specific marketing channels. Also, I would also be looking at some of the analytics when it comes to marketing, being able to analyze your marketing data, and then using that to make marketing decisions, and then most importantly, marketing automation. I would also, for some of you who have probably started doing your own research, and then you are at like a beginner's level, will be able to look more in depthly and then like focus on the much more technical aspect. And therefore, those of you who still do not have the background, would also be able to hold hands with you to be able to help you get to that level of proficiency. Currently, I think in the UK, the basic salary, I think, for an entry level for a digital marketer is about £60,000. And then I think elsewhere it's also like a lot. In terms of SEO, would also be dealing with a lot of tools. We'll be looking at some of the tools that we use in SEO analysis, which is SEMrush, to be able to help us analyze websites. Keyword research also would look at some of the tools that we can be able to use to help us analyze keywords, understand what people are searching for, and then would also be able to look at customer journeys. A process whereby you can be able to identify the key journeys that customers take, and then be able to craft marketing strategies that also tries to meet these customers at each level of the funnel. So in marketing, there is what we call the sales funnel, yeah. And on the sales funnel is basically divided into 3 parts, which is like the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, as well as the bottom of the funnel. So we'll be looking at some of the strategies and how you yourself can be able to craft those strategies to deal with each of this funnel. And then also we'll be looking at most of the multi-channel campaigns that you can be able to create, how your organic content keys into your overall brand strategy, how your paid campaigns keys into your overall brand strategy, and how you can be able to help businesses increase revenue for the product, increase product adoption, and then also increase overall customer lifetime value for the brand. Also, we'd also be looking at some level of apart from just the generalized web marketing, we'd also be looking at app marketing. This includes ASO. Would also be looking at setting up integrated campaigns across platforms. Dealing with a lot of tools. We're looking at attribution tools, which is using AppsFlyer, and how you can be able to integrate all of that across your marketing channel. For email marketing, also for content marketing as well as email marketing, I would be looking at some of the forms of content marketing. This would be the long form content, of course, the short form content, looking at video campaigns as well. And then also looking at influencer marketing campaigns, how overall it ties into your strategy. Then when it comes to ad, I know a lot of, or most of you, or some of you might still not understand how some of these ads work. You go online and you search a product on Jumia or another brand, and then you are seeing them following you everywhere. We'll be looking at some of those type of campaigns, which are called also retargeting campaigns. And also we'll be looking at how you can basically track your customer journey in app, right? So you go to the to an app, you buy or you buy a product, and then we are able to target you based on the level that you are on that journey, right? Using personalized messaging, push notifications, as well as email notifications. So personalized, dealing with where you are on the customer journey. After that, we'll also be looking at some of the SMS, also social media marketing. Would also look at some of the things that influence platform selection, right? Is it data that influences platform selection? Would also be looking at how you can basically help you as a digital marketer help the business that you're working for set clear goals for the brand. Then also helping them email newsletters, and of course, this is obviously like not the one-man job, but at the end of the day, it's very important that you, in order to be able to stand out in the industry, you need to be able to at least know the foundations of all of this, and then you can, later on decide to, okay, oh, I want to specialize in SEO, I want to specialize in media buying, which is also known as ads, or whatever you want to specialize in. But this course will have to deal with understanding overall the concept of digital marketing, each aspect of digital marketing, understanding them in detail, and then if you want to obviously specialize, then you can obviously specialize. I've mentioned SEO before, techniques and benefit of SEO, optimizing meta tags and enhancing mobile optimization and boosting core app vitals as well as web vitals. Then I talked about email marketing earlier. Then also paid I think this is one of the most important aspects. It's very, very important for you as a learner to be able to understand how this works, right? Paid advertising across several platforms. So a lot of people think maybe the ad is just stop on Instagram and maybe Facebook, but there's so much more that we can do with ads, right? This has to do with programmatic advertising across platforms, and then as well as using retargeting to be able to help push your customers from the middle of the funnel, obviously, to the bottom part of the funnel. So yeah, that's just like a brief summary of some of the things that we'll be covering. So if you also have questions that you want to ask, I will be in the session to be able to answer some of those questions. Looking forward to obviously doing this with all of you who are obviously very interested in doing digital marketing, and then I'm looking forward to seeing how we'll be able to help you grow and then actualize some of the dreams or career goals that you have. One more thing is that one good thing about digital marketing is that it has like the lowest barrier to entry. So it's not really hard. It's something that you can learn as quickly as possible. Just to put in context, I started learning this while I was in my second year in the university, and then so far so good. This is what I've been doing since I graduated, and it's really been a very, very thriving career, and I'm sure it's going to be the same for you. So I'm looking forward to doing this with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John, for that. I really appreciate. Please, if you have any question, you can drop your question. You can raise your hand or drop your question on the chat as well. Quick question for you, John. What is the primary goal of SEO?
Yeah, the primary goal of SEO is to be able to allow. So basically, let me just do explanation. So people search online, right? And then what SEO do for you is to be able to meet these people when they search. So let's say when people want to search for Learn with Pride now, when they want to search where to learn maybe digital marketing, if we optimize most of the content on the website for SEO, it helps us to be able to get traffic to the site for cheap, like basically for free. So it's basically to be able to get traffic to the site basically for free, and at the end of the day, convert those those things. So instead of spending a lot of money on ads, we're just optimizing our content for SEO. That helps us reduce, the business angle, reduce the business cost, the cost of for the business. That is what we call the CAC cost, customer acquisition cost. And then you're getting some of this traffic for free, and then your overall CAC is being reduced. So the overall goal is to increase traffic on the site and ultimately increasing revenue for the company.
Thank you, John. Really appreciate. Please, if you're still on the call till now, you've done good. And I believe, knowledge is key, knowledge is powerful. And as I said at the beginning of this session, for those that wait to the very end, I have a very special offer for those that wants to embark on a journey, for those that want to rewrite the story. We'll soon be finished anyway, so you might want to wait to the very end to see what we have in stock for you. I'm just saying this now. Please, can I get the recorded? So the recorded video will be shared on our WhatsApp group. If you're on the WhatsApp group, it will be there. If not, admin, please send the WhatsApp link on this Zoom chat for people to join. And also, it will be available on our YouTube channel. So you can just search for Learn with Pride on YouTube and you are going to see it. Quick question for you, John, before you go. Explain ABM.
So ABM is account-based marketing. This is mostly used in B2B context, really. So it's mostly used like in a type of B2B marketing strategy that you use to basically target your customer, like your key audience persona. So for example, we are selling let's say you're selling you're a company that sells cars, and then you're targeting cooperative organizations to send kind of sell cars to. So account-based marketing is basically to identify the key decision makers in those industries or areas that you're trying to target, and then have some specific strategies that helps you to convert them over over time. So it's mostly used in B2B. B2B in this context is business to business. So most of what we know as marketing is usually the most rampant ones is usually B2C, which is like business to consumer. But ABM is usually used in the B2B context.
All right. Another quick question for you, John. Can someone be an SEO specialist and a paid media specialist all at once?
Yes, you can. You can. That's like the essence of being like a know-it-all. For me, I think I do most of them. Depending on what the company wants. So I can basically take anyone. So that's why it's good to be, of course, a digital marketer. But when you get employed in a company, the company has priorities. So it's left for you to take charge of what they want and then sort out their issues. Yeah, you can be anything. You can be.
All right. Thanks for that, John. If you have any other question, please, you can drop it on the chat. We'll take it at the end of the session, or you can raise your hand as well if you want to speak, and I will enable you to do that at the end of the session as well. Thanks for that, John. So digital marketing will be a 2-month program. It will run 3 times a week, right? The first month will focus on practical training, everything you need to know under the umbrella of digital marketing, as he just explained to you, SEOs, email marketing, PPC, and all of that. And the second month will be you working on a project, right? And also, the third month will be working on your portfolios and your CV so that you can start pushing it out, and start getting interviews and all of that. So again, please just bear with me and I will share the price to all of them shortly. I just want all the speakers to speak. Then we can go to the costing, the discounts, and all of that for the people online. So once again, thanks, John, for that. All right. So next on the agenda is, this is another combination of ours as well. What you've noticed with all our training is you are getting more than one. You are getting really, really exposed, to different aspects. We tag this masterclass. This is another 5-month program that will expose you to project management, business analysis, and Scrum Master. So if you are considering any of those three, you have the other two free of charge as well. As I explained earlier on as well, the benefit is when you start applying for a job, you are not restricting yourself to just one. You have different options that you can leverage on, and apply, which increases your chances at the end of the day as well. The main goal is for you to get your feet at the door. Whether you get your feet at the door as a project manager, business analysis, or Scrum, it is much, much easier for you to transition when you are in already. Right. So, quickly, let me check. What is it? John, quickly, is this question for you? What is the difference between a cohort analysis and a retention analysis in the context of customer behavior? Oh, I think John has dropped off. All right, we'll take that at the end. All right, so for now, let's just roll on. I'll take that at the end of the session. Let me see. Is John online? Oh, he has dropped off. All right, so without wasting too much of our time, all right, Tona, you're over to you. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Akin. So I would be a bit brief and high level so that I can manage and maximize our time. So yeah, my name is Toya David, and I'm gonna be taking you on a site scene on what it entails to be a project manager and a business analyst. So please, if you cannot hear me clearly, just say something.
We can hear you.
Okay, but all right, thank you. All right, so I'm going to be giving us tips on the aspect of project management, which is basically, divided into two major aspects. They call one the. Before we delve into this, I would like to tell us who a manager is, a business analyst, and from there we can now have a basic understanding. But before then, I'd like you to meet me. Tomayo David is my name. I'm a project manager, a Prince 2 certification. I'm also a business analyst. So if you see in between these lines, I was a business analyst and project manager at 99 Apartments. It's a property tech company, while at Energy Crosshair, which is a renewable energy company, I was also a business analyst and a project manager. Project manager in these two companies, Pillar Oil. This is Work Tips Pro, a Canadian. I've been a project manager in those companies. So I'm going to tell you more about the experience, rather than doing so much of teaching today. So I'm going to be telling you what do you expect, or what do you if you are a project manager. So briefly, before I start going into all these details, if you're a project manager, just know that you have a very high level of responsibility in a company, because the management sort of hands over any tangible project or tangible that they are doing and expect a delivery, monitoring, controlling, and overall quality assurance that you are going to deliver what the customer. So that's the high responsibility that is placed on you as a project manager. So this said, you have to be so much leadership capabilities. And I'm saying this because these are the bedrock of who a project manager will be. You have to be a great leader, a communicator. You have to be someone that is fast with his thinking. And finally, to ease your mind, you don't have to have any coding skill. You know, a lot of people run away when they hear coding. I see, you know, so many presentations are saying those are fantastic, but you might still not essentially need any of being a coding expert to be able to either a waterfall project manager or an agile project manager. You may not necessarily need it. In fact, not may not, you do not actually. Yeah. So because project management in quotes, you know, it's a framework that you need to understand. Once you understand the framework and you are experienced in using this framework, it's something that will work for you every other time. Now, look at it. So project management involves planning, executing, and closing projects while meeting specific goals and success criteria. So what your target is in a project is that you want to meet a goal. And who sets this goal? Goals are set mainly by the customers. Anyone that is for the project sets the goals. They are the ones that need action. So as a project manager, you have to have great planning skills, executing skills. You have to know how to communicate on the project and also monitor project's progress. Excuse me. So there are some phases in project management, which is usually we call it in waterfall, the planning phase, the documentation phase, the execution phase, closing phase. But in general terms, we can call it the requirement phase, which is where you understand what requirement goes into a project. Also the design, where you actually do planning and design whatever you want to see on the paper to guide people that are going to be working on the project. Then implementation is where the work is. That means people come together to actually put what you have gathered as requirements, design, and actually put it into work and make it a live entity. Then the verification can be also called testing, yeah, or where you do quality assurance. Then finally, there's maintenance. Yeah, so this phase is usually categorized as a general project phase, but more tilted towards the agile process. Yeah, so another thing in waterfall is that there's a documentation phase that is very essential. I was working in a company as a project and business analyst, and my role was to be the document controller. So I understand what it means. Documentation is heavy when it comes to waterfall projects. It means that you must understand how to document, how to keep the documents, and how to present your documents. Very important. So mostly every phase you do or you go up in a project, you must actually have a documentation to back it up. And let me quickly give you why this is necessary. It is necessary because there's one thing in project that they call learning from experience. So you have to be able to have sufficient documentation such that when your company is revisiting such project or similar projects, they can have something to learn from and not start all over again. So it's very important. It's a rule in project that we take very seriously. Another thing in waterfall projects is that, well, this is sort of like a disadvantage. Yeah, that's why we have so many methodologies, which waterfall is of them. It is rigid and difficult to adapt to changes. Now, take for instance, you are building a house, which is a project. You would not, yeah, you would not anyway want changes because changes will cost you money, it took time, and so it can change the face of your design. So those are the things changes can cost. When you work for projects, it's very difficult to adapt to change. Doesn't mean change doesn't happen, but I mean, it's not something that they take friendly. So it means that your level of execution should be almost there perfect, such that you wouldn't need change. Changes in therefore might mean that you are destroying things or you're pulling down things. So that's what it is. Now, yeah, examples projects like construction, event planning. In fact, renovating your house, it's a project that is waterfall. Now, when you look at how fall, talking literally about, you see it falls from top to bottom. We have been to a waterfall before. That model is what is adopted in this terminology used such that everything is falling on each other. That one must before it can flow to the other and fall on the other and fall, meaning that there are dependencies. That means your project depends on each other. You cannot dig a foundation without first of all getting and acquiring. So that's how that depends and connects with each other. Also, you cannot roof a house without erecting the structure. It's impossible. So you take things step by step, very meticulous processes that you need to achieve. That is how that is what you get if you're a project manager, you to do it with ease. Now, let's look at what it is about. Meanwhile, I'm just giving high level. Project management is very wide. So, I mean, if you enroll, you'll see for yourself. Now, let's go to what Agile is. So, Agile is a measure that makes and speed up processes that can take you weeks or months to as small as days. Now, how do you apply Agile method to a project? Once a project is not structural, meaning waterfall that I just explained, once it is dealing with software, and could have done justice to that from the product from Kemi that talked about product management, also from Michael, they've touched software, right? So if you are developing software as a project, you use the Agile methodology to manage because it's work fast, it delivers efficiently, and also it's the most important part of it is that it allows for continuous testing. So you're almost near assured that you can deliver a project in a week if you use the Agile methodology. Anyway, Scrum is what we'll focus on if you're enrolled, and is the most popular Agile methodology. Scrum itself is a framework, right? And we have other Agile methodologies such as Kanban, extreme programming, we have DM, that's dynamic system, development management, lean, we have Crystal, we have a lot. There are lots, but the most popular of them is Scrum. And when those Scrum, not even popular, the most demanded of them. So anyone hiring you as a project manager would first of all have the understanding Scrum. The others, for instance, XP is more of programming. So if you are a technical project manager, yeah, maybe that can work for you. But if you just being a project manager who's specialized in delivering projects at a high level, you need a cool skill set. I mean, technical skill set. I'm talking about knowing how to develop softwares. Maybe you may not need to do that. Right. So, but Scrum is a framework, simple and adaptable to all Agile methods. So let me move forward that. So in Scrum or in Agile, right, we have what they call continuous feedback and reviews. So it helps us to better appreciate the customer need because there is feedback every time. Imagine a mobile application, and the first thing I do is I do the UX UI, like the interface, and I call, for a lot of people, say, check out this interface. Color to the font. Some people can say, you know what, we don't like this color. This color doesn't resonate. This color hurts us, or whatever. So all those things can give you feedback on how to ensure that product or your solution is being adapted to a customer need, end user, customer or end user. So that's about Agile. There's continuous feedback and reviews and adaptation. So you can over and ensure that you get you can refine something. Yeah, you can refine it and ensure that you get the perfect product. For instance, refine it extra. You can't do it and put it down and down. No, but software, it's just line of codes that you can design and do it again and do it again. Another thing is there is iteration is there's a short development cycle called sprint. That means just a week Sometimes in less than a week, you can deliver a tangible product. You can. That is what that's what the word iterative means, be done in a short period of time, and done over and over again over a short period of time. Now, also there is testing. I think I mentioned that Agile will enable them to test your product. So there's always frequent testing. So you almost will not put a product in the market that is not working. It's impossible. It's impossible. There's no way the product will get to the non-work, because if it doesn't pass testing, it doesn't go anywhere. Waterfall project, a lot of people will just do something, maybe that's the strength of their cement, supposed to be 5.0, it's 4 and they should just say, okay, let's allow it to try, right? In Agile or any Agile framework, right? It's not possible. You know that testing is fast, and testing is automated, so it's just you have to just go and do it. So that's the beauty. That thing is there's cross-functional collaboration between developers, testers, and stakeholders. I remember I keep mentioning that tester, you're going to work with some stakeholders, anyone that are involved in a project, my developers, Scrum Masters, and whatnot. So you are going to have that experience. As a Scrum Master, I've worked in a Scrum environment. I was to understand how developers work. That means software engineers, right? How they work, I worked with them all through 6-7 months, and I was able to understand their language. So it sharpen your technical skill as well. And also there is continuous development and continuous CI. This term is usually in DevOps. I mean, it's a test of continuous development. When you are developing a product, you must ensure that there is continuation. It's part of what people highlight in their business case to say they have a business continuity plan. So you must have a continuous process and also continuous improvements. When the first version of iPhone came out and the latest version that is right now, you see a lot of improvements. This must continually improve and evolve over time. So those are the things you also learn as being a project manager. So that I can draw you back to where we are. What are the concepts in Scrum? We have some product owner is there. Who's a product owner? You learn that where you enroll. The product owner has a wide range of responsibility, and this is where you come in, a Scrum Master. So Scrum, and please confirm if you hear me.
Yeah, but you're breaking up.
Oh, okay. How about now? I think my headset is shaking up.
Better.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, you Scrum Master, and you're sure that you move obstacle from something. A Scrum Master actually is someone that covers the team external interference of stakeholders. Just take it as you have a team of developers that are doing well, don't need distractions. To write code, you need to be in the right frame of mind, ensure that things are going well. And some stakeholders, when I say stakeholders, it could even be one in the management, just come and send mails and distract them from what they are doing. You are the one that takes that. You are the one that stands in front. Yeah, you are a leader. They call them servant leaders. So you stay in front and ensure that nobody tampers with your team. Your team is optimized and developing at ISO. So any other it that is coming, you receive it, right? And you manage it. So you see that project management, when I spoke about it before, leadership is one of the ingredients as a fire. If you are not a leader, you will be a good project manager, because every day is conflict with your stakeholders, conflict with your teams. So that's very important. And one of the things we're going to be teaching when we start this class is how to be a leader, how to be a leader. I'm going to throw in. I mean, do it in a very unconventional way. You will not know, right? By giving you assignments, delegating tasks for you. Those are some of the things used. And before you know, if you are not a leader before, you're going to transition. All right. So I'm going to be moving fast now. The development team. Development team would consist of developers, testers. Yeah. People that are handling the software parts. Those are the development team. What are the advantages of Scrum or Agile? There's high adaptability to changes. Remember, Waterfall does not love changes or is not open to too much changes. But this has high adaptability because it's software. Clear a line of code and rewrite. Yeah, it's so easy like that. Then there's frequent delivery of functional software. Yeah, like I said, in a day, 2 days, 3 days, you can actually deliver a entire product when it's processed. Now, let's go to the part where I'm going to be posting about it generally. Business analysis. Now, you see the two things that I just taught you now, the project management and the Scrum. This is the energy that brings them together. If you are going to be on a project, say, what you should in any way brace a master class in business analysis, Scrum, and project management is because most of the time you are going to do a job of business analyst and a Scrum Master and a project manager most of the time. If you are working in that are very big and spread those roles, 80% of the companies, right, they would prefer someone that has this three knowledge over someone that just has one. If I go to an interview with you right now and you are just manager, whatever station you have, I have experience as a business analyst and an agile project manager preferred. That's fact. Now, this is the key ties them together. Before you start a project, business lead, that's where it comes in, a business analyst. And that's who you be if there is focus, right? You be the one that understands the business aspect of a project. Always understanding how to that requirements. Requirements is to say, what does business solution does this business need? It needs X, Y, and Z. You gather requirements and you identify and document this as well. You're able to say that to develop a new software for our company, we need it to be able to perform X, Y, and Z functions. That is what a business analyst would do. So you perform stakeholder engagement to ensure that all voices are heard and considered. That means we interfacing a lot with, especially top level stakeholders. Another is that you have evaluation. Be able to set validate solutions. That means you have a lot of skills in your bag that you can deploy assessing solutions. One of them is doing root cause analysis. Yeah, root cause analysis. So another thing is also analysis. So those are the things that the business have in is being an effective in the project. So let's compare, right? The three. So and when do we use them? So we want to know when do you deploy? Because if you have these three arsenals, when do you deploy? Now, when you have a project that is predictable and has detailed documentation, as well as what a fix means is that there's a really structure to what they want you to. You should make sure you use the waterfall process, right? And when you have needs flexibility, rapid delivery, you must believe this frequently, and also as frequent changes to it, software you adopt the agile methodology. Now, in business analysis, it's essential in those, as I said, those business analyst is like the function that ties those two things together and is an essential thing. So business analysis will bridge between the two. Someone that is constantly enabling business growth and progress, meanwhile contributing essentially to the technicality of a project. Now, I embark this training. There are specific tools that you will be able to use, not just being enabled to use them. First of all, you learn the MS project. Microsoft project is interest to use project scheduling and project planning, right? I'm going to show us briefly if time permits. Also, if it's agile, you're going to learn to use Jira Conference. These are tools that you can use. Also, there.com, Trello, a lot of other agile tools, software tools. Then in analysis, you learn to use Tableau, or if most times, yeah, because you can use them to visualize. Yeah, you're going to learn those three tools if you embark on this journey. I've seen so many, I'm going to make it very fast. So the next step is enroll in the masterclass. We'll talk more. Engage in live projects in the masterclass. The sky now. I need to say a lot of facilitators have been saying, say it again. The journey is not for people that are not ready to do the job, right? So if you want to be this journey for the next
I think your
5 months.
I think your headset is really losing you seriously. But yeah, you
Oh, how
can.
about now? Can you hear me?
It's just going on and off. Yeah, just continue. You're almost done, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, apologies for that. Yeah. Okay. So, if you want to go this journey, yeah, like I said, I'm going to elaborate on that. But to just emphasize again, you have to be ready to do the assignment. There are going to be projects for us to work on, live projects. And when I say live projects, some of these projects are projects I work on, I know that I currently work on at my workplace. So it's more that we are holding each other to the now. I want to show us the that looks like before I just hand over to Aki. So look at this. There's a project that I did with my last constructing office site from start to finish. This is the MS project looks. You'll be able to use it. Things is look at the less aspect of it. We can look at cost overview, for instance. In this, for you to know that after paying, you can see how much is going see how much is going into the project. You see, it's about 91,000. So you have been able to scale budgeting. So you might not be to know to construct a budget. This is what it can give you on how a project come, and very essential too. So yes, let me just the cuttings. There are a lot of questions that I may have to answer, and I'll pick it up from there. So thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe I'll leave the question to, we have one more to go. So please just bear with us. And also you can use that to fix your mic because we can hardly hear you though. So please we'll answer all questions. We just have one more to go, then we can take all questions, talk about the pricing, the discount and all of that. And for those that wants to join us on the journey, you are more than welcome to enroll as well. So the last that we are going to be looking at this evening, but before I talk about that one, the masterclass that he just spoke about, which comprises of project management, Scrum Master, business analysis, 3-in-1, you'll be getting those 3 trainings for the price of one. It's a 5-month program as well that runs Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., and on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it runs 3 times a week. The first 3 months will concentrate on the practical training. That's when you'll be exposed to project management, Scrum Master, business analysis, and the last 2 months will be you working on a live project as well. So the last but not the least for tonight, or before I call on the last but not the least, we have Excel and PowerPoint training as well. That's a tool training. That's just 1 month training that will, for those that wants to learn Excel, or for those that wants to learn PowerPoint to do your job at the office, or you just want to enhance your skill in those two. We have a tool training. We have training for those two tools as well. The next course will be starting at the end of this month. So if you want to get on board, you are more than welcome to enroll as well. And also, next month, we'll be starting a new course on Adobe Microsoft project. Nah, sorry, Adobe Photoshop and other tools that you can use for design and all of that. So that will be starting next month as well. I'll give more information as we go ahead. But the last for this session for tonight that I'll be calling on is for those that want to embark on the journey of data analysis, right? You want to become a data analyst, you want to know how to transform, manipulate, you know, data. This is for you. This is a 5-month program, unlike the usual one that you see out there for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you know. We always want you to get the very best of what you are paying for. That is why all our courses, you know, are structured in such a way to equip you with the necessary skills and knowledge before you start applying for job. So our data analysis is a 5-month program that will expose you to 5 industry standard tools, from Python to SQL to Power BI to Tableau and Excel. And each month will focus on a particular tool. And at the end of that month, you undertake a project based on the tool that you just completed. Meaning, at the end of your 5-month program, right, you can showcase 5 different projects in your portfolios to recruiters. So without further ado, let me invite Itwen to take over from here to tell you more about what it entails to become a data analyst, the benefits, and why you should enroll on this particular journey. So without further ado, over to you, Itwen. Thanks. Bye-bye.
So good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, Itwen.
All right, so a lot has been said. I'll try to be as snappy as possible. Okay, so why data analytics is a choice career in 2024? This is presented by myself, Itwen. So I've had about 6 to 7 years experience in the retail and e-commerce workspace as a data analyst and also as a data engineer. I'm currently leading the data analytics team in my present environment. So a quick one, understanding data analysis. So I want to leverage on what the database administrator has already said. He has thrown more light on the concept of data. Good enough. He has said a lot about that has to do with data analysis, data engineering, and database administrator. So also, I think the business analyst person to also said the same thing. All these works under the same ecosystem of data. Right? So let's quickly just go through what I have to present here. So data analysis, simply the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to discover useful information, make informed conclusions that support decision making. All right. So what are the importance of data analysis? It helps businesses make informed decisions. All right, and also understand trends and optimize their performance. All right, so that's one of the key important aspects of data analysis. So it can be applicable in the marketing, finance, healthcare, logistics, and almost every sector, business sector that you can think of. Data, the role of a data analyst can be applicable. All right, so let's quickly look at the methodology and the stages that are involved in data analysis. So it involves data collection, like the database administrator rightly said. The work of a data analyst starts from when you pull out data from a storage, and the database happens to be a type of a storage. He said something about structured and unstructured database. MySQL, SQL Server being an example of a structured database. But for the purpose of this class, we'll be concentrating on structured database. All right. Okay, so your work as a data analyst start from when you extract data from various sources, and database happen to be one of the sources of your data. All right, so data collection, which entails gathering data from various sources, data cleaning, removing inaccuracies and ensuring data quality. You understand that the quality of your data impacts on the quality of information that you send out. If you're working on the wrong data, you're likely going to pull out a wrong information to the end user. So the quality of the data is very important. All right. So data exploration. So this talks about summarizing main characteristics, often using visual method. All right. This talks about using graphs, using charts to display your findings, to display the trends that you have discovered in your analysis. So another one is data modeling. So data modeling talks about creating relationship between the different business entities or objects. So you try to create relationship between the different tables that you're considering so that you can carry out analysis across the multiple tables. All right. So the next phase is interpretation and reporting. So you draw conclusion and present findings. All right. So those are the key methodologies and stages that are involved in data analysis. All right. We're going to go through this in practical form, all right, to understand it very well during our classes. All right. So the next thing we are going to be looking at is the market demand. Okay, if you look at the chart, you can see that data analysis is, the demand for it is progressive. There's high demand for the role of a data analyst because companies want to make data-driven decisions. All right. So it's highly in demand. So this cannot be overemphasized. So, and I'm very sure that most of you are familiar with data analysis because it's becoming very popular lately, because every company wants to, if you want to compete favorably, you have to make data-driven decisions, all right? Because it helps you optimize your processes and also help to improve your return on investment. You don't make wrong investment because you're guided, you're properly directed in the decisions that you make concerning your businesses. All right. So companies increasingly rely on data-driven insight for competitive advantage. All right. So the explosion of data from Internet of Thoughts, social media, and e-commerce necessitates proficient data analysts. There's so much demand for data analysts because a lot of data is generated as a result of new technologies that are coming up every day. As technologies are being deployed into the system, data is being generated more and more. And as the volume of data keeps generating, the more the demand for the role of data analysts, all right? So in 2024, there is a noticeable scarcity of qualified data professionals. Now, increasing the value of data analytics skills, all right, because of the scarcity of professional data analysts. So even as at the entry level of your career as a data analyst, there's so much value. There's so much value that is attached to the role because of the scarcity of professional data analysts. So there's so much value that is attached to the role, even at the entry level. So another thing is we look at is the career advantage. It's a progressive career path. Data analysis is a progressive career path. You can easily transition into different sectors of data within the data ecosystem. like the data administrator rightly said, he started as a data analyst. I started as a data analyst, all right? But I've been able to transition into data engineering, though I do more of data analytics work because of my current environment, all right? So it's a progressive path, all right? It's very progressive. You can easily transition into machine learning, data science, and a lot of it. There's a lot that you stand to gain when you come into data analytics field, all right? I've spoken about the lucrative salary. I said high demand and specialized skills ensure competitive salary for data analysts, all right? Diverse opportunities, various career paths in data engineering, business intelligence, data science. Another thing you stand to gain is continuous learning. There is always enough to learn. It's a very vast career path. All right. There's always a lot to learn. Talking about business intelligence tools, there are so many business intelligence tools that you can pick up and learn. There is always a lot to learn, all right, which increase your knowledge base. Continuous learning, the field dynamic nature promotes ongoing skill enhancement and professional growth. Now, this is another advantage in the career of a data analyst. Your value is proportional to your level of knowledge. The level of knowledge you control is what determines your value, all right? You can earn anything depending on your value. The skills that you have developed over a period of time, the experiences that you have acquired. So you determine, you call the shots, all right? So it's a promising career, all right? So global relevance, data analyst skills are in demand worldwide, providing opportunities across different industries and borders. You're not limited. You don't have that limitation. You don't have any form of limitation. The same skill that you use in Nigeria is applicable everywhere. Everywhere. The same tool is applicable everywhere. If you are proficient in Power BI, if you're proficient in SQL, you're proficient in Python, in Tableau, in BigQuery, Looker, and all of that, Excel, you can fit into any environment, anywhere, all right? There's no barrier, there's no limitation. The same skill is applicable in any environment, everywhere, all right? So that's one of the advantages of the career of a data analyst. All right, let's look at the future outlook. The importance of data analytics will grow as technology evolves and data volume keeps increasing. I've already said this, that the data volume keeps increasing as a result of new technology that is being developed every day, all right? Advancement in AI and machine learning will enhance data analytics capabilities, fostering innovation. Okay, data analytics professionals will be essential in shaping organizational strategies and making impact decisions. Now, as a data analyst, you are a key component of every organization, because every person in that environment depends on the insight that you provide for them. In any data-driven environment, a data analyst is very important. You're one of the key decision-making bodies in that environment, because they will always make reference to what data is saying before any decision is taken. All right, so that puts you at advantage. It puts you at a focal point. It makes you become relevant. All right, so that's one of the future outlook, that data analytics professionals will be essential in shaping organizational strategies. All right, so in conclusion, I would like to say that data analytics offer a promising and fulfilling career path with high demand, attractive opportunities, and continuous advancement. So mastering essential tools like Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, and Python is crucial for effectively handling and interpreting data. So we welcome you to embrace this opportunity that we are offering you on Learn with Pride. All right. If you look at it, we have carefully selected 5 key tools. All right. Now, the reason why we select these 5 key tools, Python, Excel, SQL, Power BI, and a tablet, because we've done our research and we discovered that these are the most used tools currently in every industry. All right. They are the tools that are dominating the industry. You can go ahead and do your research. That doesn't mean that we don't have other tools. We have the likes of Looker. That's a Google Google tool, Looker. So we have the likes of ClickView. There are other good tools, all right? But these 5 key tools, there's no way you will be effective in the usage of one of these 5 tools in analyzing data that you will not be able to compete, that you will not be able to at least compete favorably in the industry, because these are the key tools that dominate the industry currently. So we took time to pick these 5 tools to arm every of our students with these 5 tools so that you can get out there and compete favorably. All right. So I would like to stop here, and I will engage you people more during the question and answer session. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Etwin, for that. Please, if you have questions, this is the time you can start to raise your hand if you want to talk, and I'll be calling you shortly to ask your questions as well. I'm going to go through the start dates for all trainings as well shortly. But before then, I'm going to share my screen. This is one of our students that recently got employed as well, but she's unable to attend the session tonight. But she sent a video clip. So I'm just going to play that quickly, and then I'll be back. So let me play that.
My name is Natalie. I recently secured a job as a project lead. My journey into project management started when I enrolled for the project management program with Learn with Pride. The program was insightful, impactful, and educative. I really learned a lot. I had access to live projects. I also got my CV reviewed. I got recruitment support. I got access to free seminars and a lot more. My advice to anyone going into IT is to enroll with Learn with Pride. They got the needed support you would need to get a job in the IT space, and also they'll give you on-the-job support. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. So that's one of student who recently secured a project lead role, because I know many people will be on this call and maybe you doubt yourself that can you actually do it? Is it actually possible for you to embark on a 3-month, on a 2-month, on a 5-month journey, and at the end of the day, you are able to secure your role? I'm happy to tell you that it is 100% possible. All that is required is your determination. If you can do that, why not? You can achieve whatever you set out to achieve as well. So quickly, let me just go through my own slide. So as you see here, all our trainings, you go through trainings, you go through after trainings, then projects. Another key point is optimization of your brand. What is your brand? Your CV, what talks for you in your absence, and that is your CV, your online presence. So that means, especially for those that will be applying for remote international jobs, you need to revamp your CV to international standards. Also, you need to be present online as well. So if you don't have a profile on LinkedIn, you need to create one as well. All right, and that is that. Then after that, you start applying for jobs. That is where we assist with that as well. When it comes to interview preparation, Adeyemi, you can raise your hand on the chat. You can raise your hand and I'll call you shortly. Adeyemi. So you apply for jobs, we assist with that as well. We post job regularly on our community. And when you secure an interview, we assist with interview as well, because our goal at the end of the day is for you to be able to secure that job. That is the joy, because we know if you are able to land that role, someone somewhere will ask you, how did you do it? And you can easily tell them that, oh, you did your training with Learn with Pride. That is what we are after. Yeah. So the next slide is just showing the statistics. The company stats from 2020 to date, over 20,000 students has embarked on this journey. This is the stats for last year of the enrollment we had on each course, which needs to be updated, by the way. And overall, 85% of our students have secured the role. 50 in public sector, 35 in private, and 15% are job ready as well. So for those asking for the start date of the courses that we have, this is the start date of all the courses. For the masterclass, which is the combination of the project management, business analysis, and Scrum Master, which is a 5-month program that runs 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. The start date is 2nd of September. That is when the next cohort is starting. Right. For digital marketing, it's starting on the 12th of September as well. For Excel and PowerPoint, those that just want to learn Excel tool or PowerPoint tool, another cohort for that one is starting on the 6th of September. For data analysis, another cohort is starting on the 27th of August, which runs Tuesdays and Wednesdays for 5 months. That's data analysis. Excel and PowerPoint is just 1 month's training, and it runs twice a week as well, Friday and Saturday. And digital marketing is a 2-month program which runs 3 times a week. Product management, which is a 3-in-1 training as well. You'll be trained on product management, UI, UX, and Scrum. Started on the 9th of August. So they've started already, but you can still join because all the sessions are recorded and you can still catch up with, I think, 2 recordings or 3 recordings they've done so far. You can still catch up with that. That runs 3 days a week as well. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Database administrator, another course will be starting 31st of August. That runs twice a week, Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Twice a week. And software testing will be starting on the 28th of August as well. That will run 3 times a week as well. And for that one as well, you'll be exposed to manual testing, API testing, automation testing. It will run 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. as well. So that is the start date of all our courses. But the only but there is we only have limited slots for all these courses. So the next point is the discount, how much is going for. So for the first 10 who enrolled on any of these courses, you get 50% discount on all on any of these courses, but that only goes for the first 10 people to enroll on this journey. So data analysis, the actual cost is $799. Masterclass, the actual cost is $999. Digital marketing, the actual cost is $299. Excel, the actual cost is £99. Software testing, the actual cost is £999. Database, $799. Product management, $799. So meaning you can get 50% discount on all these ones. So after 50% discount, the one on the right hand side, that is the amount you'll be getting it for. $3.99, $4.99. Oh, sorry, I'm moving. $4.99. What have I done? All right. $149 for digital marketing, £49 for Excel, software testing, $4.99, database administrator for $3.99, product management $3.99. And the good thing about all this thing is you can pay twice. Even after the 50% discount, you can still pay twice. You can start with half payment, and the other half you can pay within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started. The Naira cost for this, the actual cost in Naira for all this is 900,000 Naira. So meaning after 50% discount, you can get it for 450,000, except digital marketing. Digital marketing, the actual cost in Naira is 300,000. Meaning after 50% discount, you can get it for 150,000 Naira. For Excel, the actual cost is 100,000 Naira. Meaning after 50% discount, you can get it for 50,000 Naira. 50,000 Naira as well. So aside those two, other ones it's 450,000 Naira, and you can pay twice as well. That is the joy for those, for those present on this call tonight. You get 50% discount if you are ready to, if you are ready to walk that walk, if you are ready to embark on that journey, if you are ready to, kickstart that career, if you are ready to make A when the sun still shines. Because the question that runs through the mind of majority is, if I spend this money, what is the guarantee I'm going to get a job at the end of the day? Number one, the money spent on yourself is a lifetime investment. That is number one. Number two, you need to go through the process. There's no way you haven't been through the tunnel and you want to know what awaits you at the end of that tunnel. You don't know whether it's raining after that tunnel. You don't know whether there is light after that tunnel until you go through and you finish that journey before you know. But one thing you can be sure about is, imagine how big the world is. Now imagine yourself that you don't have any restriction. It doesn't matter your country. You can apply for a remote job in any part of the world. Meaning the money that you are investing for this journey, you can make it back maybe in 1 day, in 2 days, in 3 days, depending on the road that you are going for. So it is worth, taking that leap of faith. And if you are ready for the journey, if you like what you've listened to for the last almost 3 hours, and you are ready to take it forward, the number on your screen right now will be the best number for you to contact on WhatsApp. Send a message on WhatsApp if you want to embark on any of the journeys that we've listed or we've talked about tonight. So the WhatsApp number on your screen, you can take a screenshot, you can save it on your phone, but that will be the number. But it only works on WhatsApp. Only send a WhatsApp message to that number, and you'll get enrolled in anyone that you want. Olalekan, software testing is, after discount, is 450,000 Naira, and you can pay twice as well. And that will take you through manual testing, API testing, automation testing. All right. So if you have any question because of our time, please, you can raise your hand, and I'll try to go through the questions on the chat as well. But if you want to talk to me, you can raise your hand, and I'll let you unmute yourself. When does the classes begin? I just showed that now. I believe you've seen that. Would like to share my email address. You can just message. This is for Q. You can just send a WhatsApp message to that number on your screen. That's to Q. Adeyemi, I asked you to raise your hand. Okay, let me look for you and enable you. All right, Adeyemi, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Adeyemi, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. All right, can I have some form of prospectors with cost of tuition etc? I just shared the tuition feed with you. If you have anyone in part, so this is So this is the cost. Also, if you go on our website, you see all these costs there as well. Just that you won't see any discount on our website, but you still see all these costs on our website, right? That's www.learnwithpride.co.uk. You'll see all the costs there as well. That's to queue. Lasisi, please, what of those that are in Nigeria? How much is the fee? Right. So as I said, aside digital marketing and Excel, all other ones after discount, after the 50% discount, is 450,000 naira, which you can pay twice. But for digital marketing, that's the actual price is 300,000 naira. But after discount, you can get it for 150,000 naira. For Excel and PowerPoint, is 100,000 naira. After 50% discount, you can get it for 50,000 naira. But aside those two, every other one is after discount is 450,000 naira. That is to Lasisi. For any other question, you can message the WhatsApp number.
All right, sir. All right. Good evening. Good evening, Learn with Pride. This is Adeyemi on the line. Sorry.
Good evening.
Yes.
You are invisible. I can't even see you on my line. But go on.
Okay. So good evening. My name is Adeyemi. Of course, I was at the last program, the event you had at Ikeja, and I want to say thank you. Yes, I want to say thank you for all of the opportunity. I saw the scholarships that you shared and all of that. Thank you very much for all that you do. I want to ask, yes, I've heard you roll out the cost of enrolling, although I'm in another meeting. I'll ask for details for that. But for some of us, can we get the opportunity to pay more than, at installments? Because some of us are struggling, and in the economy and all of that. Can we have that opportunity to pay, and then secondly, how is the opportunity for internship? Because many of us are working class people, and then the best way we learn, or the best opportunity we have to assimilate or learn better, is when we lay our hands on things, when we do hands-on. So what are the odds? What are the percentage opportunity to get internship, so that while we are working somewhere, we can get to learn better, we can get to network, and then doors for better opportunities can be open for us. Those are my questions, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. So to start with, for the instrumental payments, you can message me on the WhatsApp number and we can talk about that. Number two, all our trainings come with ability for you to work on projects, because they want you to get your hands dirty. So all our trainings, you still work on projects in any of the trainings that you embark on. You work on project. But aside ours, there are few companies out there that we post on our community as well. If after you are done with ours and you still find the need that, I still want to get my hands more dirty, then you can apply to such organizations and you can take it from there. But from start, you get to work on our own project as well to get your hands dirty. So it's a win-win all around. I hope I've been able to answer questions. For other questions about installment payments, you can message me on the WhatsApp number. Yes, Olalekan, you can pay twice. Can we pay more than twice, please? You'll need to message me. I'll need to understand that better. So message the WhatsApp number on your screen. All right. For this question, is there a certificate after the training? Yes. So let me just go through the benefit once again. I made mention of this at the beginning. So on any of our trainings that you embark on, these are the benefits that you're going to get. Number one, you get the practical training. Number two, you get to work on projects. Number three, you get the mentorship. Number four, you get the support, 24/7 support. Number five, you get interview preparation. Number six, we have 2 international accredited certificates that we issue to our students, one from the UK and one from the US. The one from the UK is called the CPD standard. That's the name of the accreditation body. And the certificate is recognized in over 60 countries. And the one from America is called ACTD. That is American Council for Training and Development. And their certificate as well is recognized in over 90 countries. So to Olalekan, yes, you'll be given those 2 different certificates. The presentation, Olufemi Adefila, you can get the presentation, you can get the recording of this session on our YouTube channel by before end of day tomorrow, or if you're on our WhatsApp group, it will be shared on our WhatsApp group as well. Any other question? Any other question? Let me see. Tonayo, are you still on the call? I think there's a question for you earlier on.
Yes, I'm on the call.
So there's a question for you. Are there any? So can you explain scope creep and scope drift, project manager and project program? I'm sure you understand that question. I don't even know whether
Okay.
it's still online. Anyway, let me check. It's no longer online anyway.
It's
The
not
person that
online. All right. Do you want me to answer the question nevertheless?
you can answer for the benefit of people online.
Okay, so scope creep would be you first need to understand what the scope is. So scope is just the structure of what you want to do, your processes and your work that you have set out to do. So when you say you have a scope creep, it means that there is a change in the scope once you have started the project. You began a project and someone is bringing extra job for you to do or extra features for you to add. That's a scope creep. That means it's going to delay or overlay the original scope that you have set. Now, scope drift is when you do all these things without customer approval. Now, scope creep would be that the customer is aware of it, but yet what you have set at the beginning is being changed, right? But the customer is aware. But when it's drift, it means that the customer is not aware. You're trying to do things that the customer, you are putting or adding extra features to a project without even considering the time, effect on the budget and whatnot, and also not having a customer approval. Or let me say having a customer approval. So that's what scope drift is. But the two are very similar, but one is just drifting you off your project and one is scripting to make your project delay. So that's the best I can explain it.
All right, thanks. I hope we've been able to learn 1 or 2 things on the session tonight, and hopefully, we are going to see some of you on this journey. Trust me, it's worth more than what we've discussed about tonight. Until you have to be in it. You have to be in it for you to be able to experience and see what the actual process entails. There is no enough word that we can use to actually qualify what you are going to experience. But one thing is certain, you are going to get value for the money that you'll be paying for this journey. And you know what? Don't procrastinate, you know. Take action today, take the leap of faith, and let's walk the walk with you. It's a journey, you know. And at the end of 3 months or 5 months, that's not the end, You are with us, we are together till, we are always readily available, to attend to any need. If you need any support, we're always there to assist as well. Just for a reminder, these are the start dates for the different courses that we have going on. For the master class starting 2nd of September, digital marketing 12th of September, Excel and PowerPoint 6th of September, data analysis 27th of August, product management 9th of August, database administrator 31st of August, and software testing 28th of August. And the number to message is on your screen right now as well. So if you want to get on board, if you have any questions, and if you want to be part of the first 10 people to get the 50% discount, then don't wait any longer. Message that number to get your seats booked or reserved. That is what I have for you tonight. I hope you've learned something on the session tonight. Again, thanks for your time. We do really appreciate, and hopefully we're going to see some of you on the journey with us for us to rewrite that story together. Until then, stay safe out there and have a good night, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Good night.